In a quiet village called Iken, lived a young girl named Oso. Oso was special, very special. She was only 20, but her eyes held a soft light, like the gentle moon. She was so very beautiful, like the prettiest flower in the garden. Oso was not just beautiful on the outside. Oh no. She was kind, very kind. Everyone in Iken loved Oso. But Oso had a stepmother. Her name was Mama Busy. Mama Busy was not kind. She was very, very wicked. Her heart was hard like a stone. Mama Busy had a daughter too, named Busy. This Busy was Mama Busy's own daughter, and she was not like Oso. Busy was loud, not gentle. She liked shiny things too much. She did not like to walk. Mama Busy loved her own daughter, Busy, very much. She thought Busy was the best. But Mama Busy did not love Oso. Not at all. Mama Busy was full of a dark feeling called jealousy. She was jealous of Oso. She was jealous because Oso was so beautiful. Oso's beauty shone brighter than Busy's. When Oso walked, people turned to look. When Busy walked, they did not. Mama Busy wanted her own daughter, Busy, to be the most beautiful girl in Iken. She wanted Busy to marry the richest man. She wanted Busy to have the best life. This dark jealousy made Mama Busy's heart even harder. She wanted to hurt Oso. She wanted to make Oso's life very, very difficult. She wanted to ruin Oso's future, so her own daughter, Busy, could shine alone. One bright morning, a big buzz filled the air in Iken. Like 1,000 bees, but louder. Important people came to the village. Not just one car, but a line of big, black, shiny cars. They gleamed under the sun. Out of these cars stepped important men. Rich men. Their clothes were new and smooth, not old and worn. Their shoes were so shiny you could see your face in them. These men were suitors. They came to find a wife. And they came to find Oso. They had heard stories about Oso's amazing beauty and her kind heart. News of her good spirit had traveled far, like the wind. They wanted to marry Oso. They wanted her to be their wife. Oso felt a little flutter in her heart. A small, soft hope. Maybe, just maybe, her hard life would change. Maybe she would find a good, kind husband who would protect her. She saw the rich men. They looked kind. They smiled at her with respect. But Mama Busy saw them too. And when Mama Busy saw the rich men looking at Oso, her heart grew even darker, like a storm cloud. No, she thought, her teeth clenched. Oso cannot marry a rich man. My Busy must marry a rich man. My Busy deserves the best. Mama Busy made a very, very bad plan. A very wicked plan. She walked up to the rich suitors. She put on a sweet, fake smile, like a mask. "Oh, kind sirs," she said, her voice dripping like honey. "You have heard wrong about Oso. She is not a good girl. She is very lazy. She does not wake early. She is not clean. Her hands are not soft. She complains a lot." Mama Busy told many, many lies about Oso. Big, terrible lies. She made Oso sound bad. The rich suitors listened. They were confused. They thought Oso looked so good, so humble. But Mama Busy kept talking, telling more bad things. Then she quickly changed her tune. "But my own daughter, Busy," Mama Busy said, puffing out her chest. "She is the best. She is hard-working, like a bee. She wakes before the sun. She is kind, like a dove. She is beautiful, like a goddess." Mama Busy then pushed Busy forward. Busy tried to smile a nice smile, but it was not real. It was stiff, like old cloth. The rich suitors were tricked. They heard Mama Busy's many lies. They looked at Busy, who was dressed in her best clothes. They believed Mama Busy's cunning words. They did not want to marry Oso anymore. This made Oso's heart sink. Her little hope, like a tiny bird, flew away. She watched the rich men turn their eyes to Busy. Mama Busy was happy. Very, very happy. She thought her plan was working perfectly. Soon, one of the rich suitors chose Busy. He gave Mama Busy many, many gifts. Bundles of money, colorful clothes, and even a shiny goat. He promised Busy a very big house in the city and many nice things. Busy was overjoyed. She jumped up and down. Mama Busy was also very, very happy. She laughed a loud, mean laugh. She looked at Oso with a terrible, mean smile. "See, Oso," she hissed. "This is what a good girl gets. You get nothing." Oso just stood there, her head bowed, feeling very, very small. Then, Mama Busy had another bad idea for Oso. "Oso will not marry a rich man," she said, a wicked gleam in her eyes. "She will marry a poor man. A very, very poor man. The poorest man in Iken." She wanted Oso to suffer. Days later, a quiet stranger walked into Iken village. He looked very, very poor. His name was Olyomo. Olyomo did not have nice clothes. His clothes were old and ragged, with many holes. They were faded and dusty. His shoes were worn out, almost falling apart. He did not talk much. He just walked quietly, his head down, like he did not want anyone to see him. He looked like he had nothing in the world. He looked like he was lost and had no home. Mama Busy saw Olyomo. Her wicked eyes lit up, like a bad idea had just sparked. "This is the man for Oso," she thought, a cruel smile spreading across her face. "Perfect. He has nothing. Oso will suffer with him." Mama Busy rushed to Oso. "Oso," she said, her voice firm and mean. "You will marry this man, Olyomo." Oso was shocked. Her eyes went wide. "Olyomo. But Mama, he is a stranger. He looks very, very poor. He has nothing." Mama Busy did not care. "You will marry him," she shouted, pointing her finger at Oso. "This is your fate. This is what you deserve for being so proud." The villagers heard the news. They felt a deep sadness for Oso. "Oh, poor Oso," they whispered, their voices soft like leaves falling. "She is so kind, so good. Why must she marry a poor stranger? Why must she suffer so much?" They felt pity for her, a deep, heavy pity. But no one, not one person, dared to stop Mama Busy. Mama Busy was too strong, too loud. Her anger was like a wildfire. No one wanted to face her fury. Oso felt a cold ache in her heart. She felt very sad. The tears came, soft and quiet, when she was alone in her small corner. But even in her deep sadness, Oso was still Oso. She was still kind. She did not shout back at Mama Busy. She did not fight. She just accepted what was happening. She knew she had no choice but to obey her stepmother. She put her faith in God, praying silently for strength. Then came the wedding days. First, Busy's wedding. Oh, it was a very, very grand wedding. The whole village talked about it for weeks. Many, many people came, even from far away villages. The air vibrated with loud music from drums and flutes. People danced with joy, their colorful clothes swaying. The rich suitor wore a suit that shone like the night sky. Busy wore a beautiful, white, shiny dress that shimmered with every step. There were many, many gifts. Piles of gifts. Food was everywhere, big pots of rice, roasted chicken, sweet drinks. Everyone was happy for Busy and her rich husband. Mama Busy smiled and smiled, her face bright with pride. She felt like a queen, like she had won a big prize. She looked at Oso with a terrible, mean smile. "See, Oso," she hissed, loud enough for Oso to hear. "This is what a good girl gets. You get nothing, Oso. You get shame." Then, Oso's wedding. It was not big. It was very, very small. Very quiet. Like a secret. Only a few people came, her oldest friends, who cried for her. Olumo wore his same ragged clothes, still dusty and torn. Oso wore a simple, old, faded dress. It was not shiny. There were no gifts. No music. No dancing. Just a quiet promise made in front of an old village elder. Oso felt tears in her eyes, but she looked at Olumo. He was quiet, but his eyes were kind, like a calm lake. He did not look mean. He looked gentle. Oso thought, maybe he is a good man even if he is poor. Maybe kindness is worth more than gold. After the quiet wedding, Oso and Olumo moved to a small, simple hut. It was very, very small. The roof was old and had holes, so when it rained, water dripped inside. The walls were made of old mud, crumbling in places. There was not much inside. Just a small, hard bed made of wood, a small, shaky table, and two small, broken chairs. It was very different from the big, shiny house Busy went to in the city, with many rooms and soft beds. Oso and Olumo started their new life together. Every day, they worked very hard. Olumo went to the farm. He dug the hard ground with his old hoe. He planted small seeds, hoping for food. Oso helped him. She carried heavy water pots on her head from the river to water the plants. She cooked their simple food over a small fire outside their hut. They did not have much to eat. Sometimes, just a little bit of rice and some wild leaves they found. Sometimes, just a small fish. But they shared everything. Every single grain of rice, they shared. Every small piece of fish, they split in half. They had very, very little. Olumo was a quiet man. He did not talk much. But he was very good. He was respectful. He always looked at Oso with kind, soft eyes. He was gentle, never rough. He never shouted. He never got angry, even when things were hard. He always worked hard, from the first light of morning till the last ray of sun disappeared. When Oso was tired, her body aching from work, Olumo would bring her cool water. He would try to help her, to ease her burden. He was a very good husband, a true partner. Oso started to feel something new in her heart. A feeling she had not known for a long, long time. Peace. Even though they were poor, very, very poor, Oso felt a deep peace in her heart. She saw Olumo's good heart. She saw how kind he was to her. She saw how much he cared for her, how he tried his best to make her happy with his small actions. She felt safe with him, truly safe. This feeling of peace was very, very special. It was better than any rich food or shiny dress. It was a treasure. Meanwhile, Busy was living in her big, shiny house in the city. At first, she was very, very happy. She had many new, expensive clothes. She ate good, rich food every day. She had servants to help her, many of them. Mama Busy visited often, her chest puffed out with pride for her daughter's good life. She would call Oso on the phone and boast. But soon, problems began to grow for Busy. Her rich husband was not kind at all. He was not gentle. He started to shout at Busy for small things. He started to hit her, leaving dark marks on her arms. He started to cheat on her. He brought other women to their big house, laughing loudly with them, making Busy feel small and worthless. Busy was very, very sad. She cried a lot, alone in her big, empty rooms. Her big, shiny house felt cold and empty. Her rich husband made her very, very unhappy. Her marriage was not peaceful. It was full of pain, sadness, and fear. Oso and Olumo did not have a big house. They did not have many new clothes. They did not have servants. But they had something far more important: peace and love. They talked to each other, sharing their day. They laughed softly at small jokes. They supported each other through every hard time. When Oso was sad about her wicked stepmother's words, Olumo would hold her hand tightly. When Olumo was tired from walking the hard ground, Oso would make him a warm drink, even if it was just hot water. Their love grew stronger every day, like a tree reaching for the sky. It was a quiet happiness, but it was real. Very real. Mama Busy and Busy still came to the small hut in Iken. Even after Busy's marriage started to get bad, they still pretended to be happy. They would mock Oso, trying to make her feel bad. "Look at you, Oso," Mama Busy would say, her voice loud and mean. "Living in this small, dirty hut. My Busy lives in a palace. A real palace." Busy would laugh a mean, hollow laugh. "You chose a poor man, Oso. You are so unlucky. You have nothing." They did not know the truth of Busy's sadness. The villagers still felt pity for Oso. Some would whisper when Oso passed by, "Oso has such bad luck. Such a good girl, but her life is so hard. She deserves so much more than that poor stranger, Olumo." Oso heard their whispers. She felt a little bit of shame, a small sting in her heart. But she did not let it break her. She held her head high. She knew in her heart that she had peace with Olumo. She knew that Olumo's kindness was a rare gem. Oso faced many hard things. Sometimes, they did not have enough food to fill their stomachs. Her clothes became more worn, with more holes, faded from too many washes. Her body ached from working very, very hard, every single day. Her hands were rough and calloused from digging and carrying. But Oso never complained. Not once. She always found a small reason to smile. She kept her kind heart, like a hidden light. She kept her gentle spirit. She always smiled, even when it was very hard, even when her stomach rumbled. One afternoon, the village healer, an old woman named Mama Adisa, became very, very sick. She lived alone and had no one to help her. Oso heard about it. Even though Oso and Olumo had very little food themselves, Oso cooked a small pot of warm, special soup. She used the last of their vegetables and a tiny piece of dry fish. She took the warm soup to Mama Adisa. She sat with her, talking softly, holding her thin hand. She cleaned Mama Adisa's small, dusty hut. The old woman cried tears of thanks, her eyes wet. "Oso, you are an angel," she whispered, her voice weak. "Even when you have nothing, you give. You give from your heart." This act showed Oso's true, pure character. Her kindness shone like a bright, warm light, even in the darkest times. Olumo saw all this. He saw Oso's strength, how she faced every hardship with a brave heart. He saw her endless kindness, how she helped others even when she was suffering. He saw her amazing patience, how she never complained about their poverty. He loved her more and more each day. His heart swelled with deep love for this woman. He would quietly protect her. If Mama Busy came to insult Oso, Olumo would stand close to Oso, his quiet presence making Mama Busy feel a little bit scared, so she would stop her mean words quickly. He would encourage Oso every day. "You are strong, my Oso," he would say softly, his voice full of love. "You are good. Do not listen to their bad words. You are a treasure." Meanwhile, Busy's life was getting worse and worse, like a withered plant. Her husband was not just cheating, he was spending all his family's money. He was gambling it away in the city. He was drinking heavily, turning violent. He was losing everything he had. The big, shiny house started to look old and dirty, like a forgotten shell. The beautiful furniture was sold. The servants left, one by one, because there was no money to pay them. Busy had no new clothes anymore. She had no good food. Her husband beat her more often, leaving her with dark bruises. He shouted at her every single day, making her feel small and afraid. One sad, grey morning, Busy's husband told her, his face red with anger, "Get out. I have nothing left. I don't want you anymore. You are useless." Busy was shocked. Her world fell apart. She had nothing. No money, no true friends, no home. The illusion of her rich, happy life crumbled into tiny pieces. It broke into dust. Busy had to leave. She had to go back to Iken, back to Mama Busy's house. She was ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Her once proud face was now filled with sadness. She was no longer living large. She was just sad and broken, carrying only the warm clothes on her back. Mama Busy was very angry and sad. Her big plan for Busy had failed completely. She had lost her shining star. One sunny afternoon, Oso and Olumo were walking in their small farm, under the warm sun. Olumo looked a little different today. He had a new, shiny hoe. Not an old, broken one. Oso noticed it. It gleamed in the light. She looked at Olumo, but she did not say anything. She just smiled a soft, happy smile, glad he had a better tool. Then, a sudden sound filled the air. A powerful hum. A very, very big, shiny car came into Ikem village again. Not just one car, but a whole line of them. Bigger and shinier than the ones that came for Oso before. They were long and black, like giant, smooth stones. They gleamed like mirrors. The cars stopped, one by one, near Oso and Olumo's small hut. Important-looking men in very fine suits stepped out. Their clothes were perfect, without a single wrinkle. They looked around, their eyes searching. They looked for someone important. One man, who looked the most important of all, with a serious but kind face, walked straight to Oso and Olumo. Oso felt a little scared. Her heart thumped in her chest. Who are these people, she thought. Why are they here? The important man looked at Olumo. He smiled a big, respectful smile, like he was talking to a king. "Sir," he said, his voice polite and clear. "We have been looking for you. Your family has been very worried." Olumo smiled back at the man. Oso was very, very confused. She looked from the important man to Olumo, then back. "Sir, who is this man talking to? Is he talking to Olumo?" "My poor husband." She couldn't understand. The important man looked at Olumo again. "Your family wants you to come home, sir. It is time." Then, Olumo turned to Oso. His eyes were soft, filled with a deep, gentle love. "Oso, my love," he said, his voice calm and clear. "There is something I need to tell you. A very big secret. Something I have hidden for a long, long time." Oso's heart beat faster, like a drum. "What is it, Olumo? Please tell me." Olumo took her rough, worn hand in his. His grip was gentle but firm. "I am not poor, Oso," he said, his voice steady. "I am very, very rich. I am from a very powerful and wealthy family. My family owns many, many things. Big houses, grand lands, many successful businesses. We are known across the land." Oso gasped. Her mouth opened wide. No words came out. She looked at Olumo's ragged clothes, then at the shiny, expensive cars, then back at Olumo's calm face. It was like a dream, or a story from a book. But why? Why did you act poor? Why did you hide this from me?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Olumo smiled, a true, gentle smile. I came to Iken to find a wife, also, he said. But not just any wife. I wanted a woman who would love me for who I am inside. Not for my money. Not for my big houses. Not for my powerful name. Many women pretended to love me before. They only loved my wealth. They loved what I could give them. So, I hid my real self. I wore old clothes. I acted like a poor man, with nothing to offer. I wanted to find a woman with a true heart. A golden heart. A woman who would love me even when I had nothing, when I was just Olumo, the quiet stranger. He looked deeply into Oso's eyes. And I found you, Oso. You loved me when I was poor. You stayed with me when I had nothing. You shared your last meal with me. You showed me true kindness, every single day. You showed me real patience, even when others mocked you. You are the woman I was looking for. You are more precious than all the gold in the world. Oso's eyes filled with hot tears. Tears of shock, then tears of overwhelming joy. She understood everything now. All the hard times, all the shame, all the quiet patience. It was for this moment. It was to show her true self. To prove her pure heart. She threw her arms around Olumo and hugged him very, very tightly. Oh, Olumo, she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. My kind Olumo. My true love. Oso and Olumo packed their few things from the small, old hut. They said goodbye to the kind villagers who had been good to them, who had shared their meager food. They got into one of the shiny cars. The cars drove away from Iken, leaving a trail of dust and amazement behind. They went to a very, very grand house. It was not just big, it was like a palace. A true palace. White walls shone in the sun, reflecting like a dream. The floors inside were shining like mirrors. There were many, many rooms, more than Oso could count. Beautiful flowers were planted everywhere outside, in big, colorful gardens. A big, clear fountain bubbled water in the front. This was Olumo's home. And now, it was Oso's home too. Her new palace. Mama busy and busy, after their shock, tried to get close to Oso again. They came to the big house, dressed in their best, but still worn, clothes. They tried to smile sweet, fake smiles. Oh, Oso, my dear, dear daughter, Mama busy said, her voice shaky. We are so happy for you. We always knew you would be great. Busy, looking thin and sad, said, Oso, my dear sister, please, please forgive me. I was so wrong. Oso was gentle, but she was also very, very wise. She remembered all the pain they had caused. She remembered all the lies. She looked at them with calm, clear eyes. Her voice was soft, but firm. I forgive you, she said gently. But some things, once broken, cannot be fully fixed. You made your choices. I wish you peace. She was kind, but she set a strong boundary. She did not let them hurt her anymore. She offered them help if they truly needed it, a small help, but she did not let them back into her close circle, into her heart's deepest part. She learned to protect her peace. Busy learned a very hard lesson. Her wealth without real love brought her no joy. Her husband was cruel. She had nothing left. She had to live a simple, often sad life, full of deep regrets for her choices. She saw Oso's peaceful happiness and understood, too late, what she had truly lost. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this amazing story? Did you learn something new about love, kindness, or what truly matters? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, please give us a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our newest stories. Thanks for watching, and stay blessed.